Hello, my name is Dr. Knute Buehler, and I'm running for Oregon Secretary of State. During the last 9 months, I've logged almost 50,000 miles traveling our wonderful state in my old Ford Explorer. I've talked with people in all of Oregon's 36 counties, from rural Oregon to the urban centers of Portland and Eugene, from my hometown of Roseburg to my current home in Bend, where I live with my wife, Patty, and our 2 teenage children. What I've heard is that people are really concerned about Oregon's direction. And few people even know who the current Secretary of State is or what the Secretary of State has been doing for the past 4 years to get Oregon working again. The Secretary of State in Oregon is the second highest elected position. Past Secretary of States include prominent independent leaders like Phil Kiesling, Norma Paulus, and Mark Hatfield, people who solved real problems. Now the office is underperforming. Its opportunities are being missed to make Oregon better. As head of the Corporation Division, the Secretary of State has the opportunity to make Oregon more welcoming to business. I'll help businesses navigate the 11,000 pages of rules, regulations, and red tape that often stand in their way. I'll be a Secretary of State that will be an ambassador to business that will help create jobs for Oregonians. As head of the Audit Division, the Secretary of State has the opportunity to have a tremendous impact on cutting waste and inefficiencies in our state government. I'll dig deeper and find the relentless misuse of our money so we can protect our schools from budget cuts. My opponent says she's found waste, but I'll find it and fix it this time. Finally, the Secretary of State has the opportunity, as head of the Election Division, to make our elections less partisan and more fair. I've been involved in 2 ballot initiatives to reform our election laws over the past 20 years. As Secretary of State, I'm going to finally pass real campaign finance reform and get big money out of Oregon politics. The Willamette Week newspaper has said my opponent needs to convince voters she is sloppy rather than slippery. They called her election division inept, and others in the media have questioned her competence and attention to detail. Clearly, we can do so much better. Now, I'm not a partisan politician who sat at a desk in Salem for the past 20 years, voting the party line and raising millions in special interest money, while at the same time voting to increase your taxes by billions of dollars. I'm someone who recognizes that this is not what Oregon needs or what Oregonians want in a Secretary of State. We need a leader who will be a nonpartisan Secretary of State, focused on solving real problems. My qualifications for the office far outreach my opponent in terms of education, with a master's in economics, in terms of executive experience, being a healthcare executive, managing a company with 170 employees, and with real-life experience related to the office, such as working in election reform for 2 decades in Oregon, setting up and overseeing an innovative auditing system in one of the state's largest healthcare systems, and having extensive background in starting and growing companies that would bring so much needed insight for our Corporation Division. As your Secretary of State, I'm going to help Oregon businesses navigate regulations so they can do what they do best, create jobs. And I'm going to institute serious campaign finance reform, not execute the publicity stunts like my opponent. And I'm going to go out and find wasteful spending and make sure it gets fixed and not swept under the rug. We can do so much better than we are as a state. We just need fresh, new leadership to get us there. So if you're like I am, and you expect more out of your state government, if you want a better Oregon, then please vote for me, Dr. Knute Buehler, as your next Secretary of State. Thank you very much.